It was just about an hour and a half ago that we were singing high praises of Afghanistan's bowling attack and how good their spinners are and how much of a problem we are all going to have. Start the Asia Cup, don't take Afghanistan lightly.
Plus we also spoke about the batting Gurbaz and all with his 50 plus average and everything, but
talking about not taking them lightly, Pakistan have made easy work of this Afghanistan team, decimated them.
Absolutely.
Their bowlers have literally terrorized the Afghanistan batters because the scorecard is not what you expect to see in a one-day game, because no matter what the gap between two teams in a one-day match, you will more often than not see closer encounters.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all will be nail biters, but closer encounters. Most teams, and this is an Afghanistan team which tends to do well in white ball cricket. This is an Afghanistan team that has just beaten Bangladesh in a 3-match series.
Correct.
So there are no pushovers, but yet the result is giving you a sort of an insight into that Pakistan bowling lineup, and why it becomes very important for us is because 2nd of September is when Indian batters are going to be facing the same bowling attack. So when Pakistan didn't even reach, they reached 200?
Yeah, they reached 200.
201.
They won 98 for 9. So they reached
just about
200.
reached,
They barely reached 200. At 201, where we were thinking, today could be a good day that Afghanistan wins. No, not quite. And actually, you should be mindful of the Pakistan bowling attack. Not from now.
Always.
From time immemorial.
Always.
Yeah.
They've always come back, no matter, especially in low-scoring games. But no matter what you expect out of them, and we all know that they have a good bowling lineup. 58, 59 runs.
Imagine they lost to Imam ul Haq alone by 2 runs. Imam ul Haq 61. Afghanistan, they didn't even complete a 20 over game also. 19.2 overs, 59.
They probably thought they were playing T20, So
you take away those 2 scores of 18 and 16. Rest of them, 8 batters, 25 runs. Okay, take extras also out. 8 batters, 17 runs. Led by Haris Rauf, Shaheen Afridi and Naseem Shah. That is why I had put Pakistan as one of the top 4 teams, because their bowling is potent. And in Sri Lanka in particular, forget this match. The earlier indication of their potency was the test matches, where Naseem was absolutely ripping the batting to shreds there with his reverse swing and everything. And his pace, I think he's improved on his fitness, and boy does he look lethal. Naseem. Shaheen we knew.
And Haris especially took a 5-wicket haul in this match. But with Haris, you always know his threat.
But again, look at it. It's supposed to be a slow deck, isn't it? Look at the spinners that were used only. Usama, Mir and Shadab, just 4 overs.
Yeah, and Shadab bowled 1 over, took 1 wicket, gave away no runs, and that was all he was needed for.
That was it.
But I think what that does is reinstate the fact that no matter what the conditions, play your best bowlers.
Yes.
So I'm saying that when we are going to be talking about what India needs to do, that debate is still up for debate, because we don't know which will be the best bowling attack. Let's say in Afghanistan's case, it's without a shadow of a doubt, no matter what the condition, those 3 spinners have to play. Simple, right? Those are your best bowlers. In Pakistan's case, no matter what the conditions, those 3 fast bowlers have to play. Done. Nothing beyond that. In India's case, what we were debating earlier in the day, that should you go in with those 3 fast bowlers or 3 spinners, the fact of the matter is you really don't know who your best bowlers are, which is why both arguments then stand true. In this case, you know pretty much who their strongest bowling lineup is. By the way, today what's really interesting is Shah Afridi, bowls 4 overs. That's just his opening spell. He's never called back to bowl. 4 overs, bowls 2 maidens, gives away 9 runs and picks up 2 wickets. That's an economy of 2.20. This tells you how lethal he is. We've been seeing just leading up to this series. I think it was 100. It
was 100. Yeah, constantly every time he's bowling in the first over, he's getting breakthroughs.
Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill, better watch out.
Rohit in particular, we know his problems with
you look at Shaheen when he bowls during the night time. That extra skid that he gets makes him really lethal. Forget the swing that he gets off the deck or in the air. That extra zip that he gets off the wicket. Batsmen really get beaten for pace. And you saw the KL Rahul dismissal in 2021. Beaten for pace. Because he was getting it to come back. But in some deliveries, batsmen could play him. Extra notch, that zip. And that was this Dubai, a placid deck.
Exactly.
Yet he's managing to get zip where other bowlers don't.
We've seen it with Haris Roth.
Yeah.
Express pace, it doesn't matter what conditions you put in front of him, he's going to be tearing in at all times, just doesn't matter. And by the way, what is the one thing with Shaheen you always say, far more effective against right-handers?
No, it's like that's also there. But I think he's upped his game even against the left-handers.
No, but against left-handers, we've seen him noticeably struggle. He's not as effective. And again, the worrisome sign, India have 6
batters and who are right-handers.
Pace battery, dare I say, you take all the other pace batteries that you have, could be the best. Fast bowling lineup right now if you're looking at the Asia Cup and the World Cup. So in Australia, you don't know the fitness of Cummins right now.
Yeah.
Hazelwood, you don't know.
Stark also now.
You don't know. So there are fitness concerns. But even if they're on top of their game, Test cricket, I'd still say, with Hazelwood there, with Stark there, we know in white ball cricket they've proven to be expensive. Cummins included. Not this kind of penetration that we've seen in these fast bowlers. Look at England.
They are, I think, on top at this par because they've got express pace, they've got swing, they've got the spinners.
But tell me,
something that Pakistan probably lacks. Yeah, Wood,
Vokes and Karan.
That's your 3.
Yeah, I'd put this ahead.
Of course, because
I'd put this ahead.
The additional factor, all 3 over 140 kmph.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With England, you have Vokes, who's very 150, 135, nothing more than that. Same with Karan. If he's in the mood, he'll ramp it up to 140s early, but that's about 8. The only one who's genuine pace is Mahmood.
Plus, can I tell you, that's genuine pace, yes, Wood, taking nothing away from him. But I don't think he has those many weapons in his armory as a Shaheen Shah Afridi.
True.
And have, brings the ball in, takes the ball away.
And he can bowl the slower deliveries also.
Same for Naseem now.
Yeah.
Really getting the ball to swing.
And also,
Haris is your only Wood-like hit the deck bowler.
Exactly.
Plus variations, back of the hand, he can
Exactly.
So if you look at that fast bowling lineup, I was just watching an interview, I think with PCB had put out a week or so ago, or maybe slightly more than that, with Babar Azam. And he had the highest amount of respect and praise for his fast bowling lineup, and I remember he kept reiterating the fact that listen, keep talking about batting this and that, but we've got like these 3 guys who right now are the best pacers that we've got, arguably one of the best.
And their bench strength includes someone like a Wasim Jr.
Oh,
exactly.
boy.
That's how good their lineup is. That Wasim Jr. would walk into pretty much any country.
And I'm telling you, the X factor for Pakistan, the death is Mohammad Wasim Jr.
But he won't even. He's not even playing.
Or maybe suppose on those decks.
Nawaz is not getting a chance, whereas he's a very good all-rounder.
But I think Nawaz is kind of resting because they wanted to give Usama Mir some game time.
Yeah. But I will just say one thing: if they want to ramp up their depth, or suppose if I don't think they're playing much up north, right? They're only playing in the south and in Kolkata. Yeah.
But a place like Kolkata, you could use an extra pacer.
Mohammad Wasim.
But see what they are also showing you, you are pretty much playing similar conditions in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
If you look at South of India, it's the retreating monsoons there. They'll be slightly different by the time you come to India. And similar condition, what they're showing you is that you're playing under lights. Ball will do a bit no matter what or when you're playing. So that will help you. They've got other things in their armory, and sometimes genuine pace is all you need.
It doesn't matter. Then that takes conditions out of the equation.
India, I will tell you, they were lucky to get away in that Asia Cup game because you remember Naseem cramped up. And that last 4-5 balls, I mean, prior to that, he was bowling with absolute fire. Getting the ball to bounce, swing, and even in the World Cup, he troubled the likes of Kohli and the others so much.
I have a question, but I mean, while I think the assessment on their fast bowling in general is there, it's good, we all know that. But just looking at today's result, are we getting a bit carried away? Because if you look at Afghanistan's batting lineup, there is a lot of inexperience there. Yes, Rahmanullah Gurbaz is that one established.
But he's the only one.
Exactly.
Even your captain, Hashmatullah Shahidi, he's been your consistent performer at number 4.
Otherwise, beyond that, if you look at it, there's 3 proper batters they have. You're counting Rahmanullah Gurbaz, you're counting Hashmatullah Shahidi.
Even Rahman Shah and Ibrahim Zadran.
But they're
your batting actually ends till number 4 because Mohammad Nabi is batting. He's okay. Number 6. Ikram Akhili.
I think Nabi, unfortunately, right now he's so experienced. You probably need to be batting him higher up the order.
You have to look at where Rashid Khan's batting. That's not his position. He has to be slightly higher. He's a better bat than that.
Yeah.
So.
But it's clearly not one of the best batting lineups in the world as well. So while you got to take their performance with a pinch of salt, but there's no denying. I'll repeat, no denying the quality of the Pakistan bowling lineup, especially their 3 fast bowlers as we just discussed. But also the opposition that they're up against is not the best in terms of the batting lineup right now. Yeah. Afghanistan bowling lineup, no doubt about their quality. This is the batting, so they will come up against more experienced and better equipped batsmen in terms of handling that pace and the swing. So that's when you judge. But all I'm saying is that Pakistan at the moment, while their batting does look a bit thin, especially with a few batters really out of form, more often than not they'd be like they can still afford to play that conventional cricket where they say like everyone else has to move ahead. Why? Because that your bowlers might not be able to defend, so you have to get a big total, and so then that's your winning template. Pakistan, on the other hand, can play that old ODI template that India would play, where just be conservative at top, keep those wickets in hand towards the end, and get to par totals in most games. Whether don't look at 350 plus or even there, look at par totals in the region of 260, 70, 80s in most games, and then back your bowling lineup to defend it. Or if it's the other way around, ensure that you restrict the other team to around that much.
Where your batters.
Then play conservative, old school, ODI cricket.
Yep.
That's what they can afford to do with the kind of bowling they have.
But
the only weak chink in their bowling is that their spinners aren't world.
No backup to Shadab.
Actually, yeah. If Shadab goes out, then
Shadab to that extent, I'll say the kind of spinners that you may come up with in international.
Pakistan's success, if you look at it in the past, you had 3 out-and-out pacers, even in the 92 World Cup team. Akram, Aqib was there, Waqar missed out, but the guy who made the difference was Mushtaq Ahmed. Mushtaq was the guy who set it up for them, and
the spinners were always, whether it
Saqlain.
was Ajmal at one time, Saqlain at one time, they always had, before that, Qadir and all that. So
and one more underrated left arm, Amir Sohail. He was a very underrated left arm spinner.
Yeah, not the best, but he could do the job.
He would give you 8 to 9 overs and concede about 40.
Not a Jaisuriya, but okay.
Jaisuriya.
The thing with Shadab is I think he's more effective in T20s.
Yeah.
Far more effective in T20s. In the longer he's asked to bowl, he tends to become a little wayward.
But if you drop Shadab, you're dropping the best fielder in the Pakistan team.
Not his best fielder. He brings a lot of balance also. Underrated bat. You need him. I think with him the key is finding that consistency where he can bowl 10 overs.
Yeah.
Because he's not a bad bowler. He's just at times weak, tends to get erratic.
Yes.
If he can stay consistent, his kind of leg spin, he's very, very consistent when he hits his lines.
Yeah.
He's hard to pick.
Because
he's subtle here or subtle. It's either a subtle leg break or a subtle googly. So it's hard to pick. Consistency. Not a big term. Never has been.
Yeah. Because in Test cricket, they have found their right combination, Abrar Ahmed and Noman Ali. Noman is the guy who will wheel away like a Jadeja. He'll build pressure. Abrar will be that guy who can leak runs, but he'll take wickets also.
Yeah.
So that is the situation. Okay. So Mr. Shaker is like saying, gents, Pakistan has raw as first change, so no respite between 15 to 40. Yep.
Yeah.
Cricket is never easy, my friend. You will get some sort of respite because the first change might come, but as I said, you'd have to target their spinners.
It has to be Shadab and Nawaz or Mir.
That would be the way for most teams to go. So he says, why not aim to defend 230 like we used to do in Sena Test? We be brave enough to go all out with genuine wicket takers instead of Akshar for a few runs. But as I said, even the replacement, we don't know whether they're genuine wicket. As I said, the jury is still out on that. In your case, I think the ones that you can close your eyes and say will play a genuine wicket taker, Kuldeep Yadav or Jasprit Bumrah. You want to close your eyes and one between Siraj and Shami who play, or the other way is play both Shami and Siraj. Shami will get you wickets with the new ball for sure. Like, you look, he's the highest wicket taker IPL this season.
Yes.
He'll get you. Either you then go with that kind of a formula that you're going with your best wicket takers, which in my estimation is Jasprit Bumrah, is a Shami and a Siraj. And a Kuldeep. And then I don't think you could take Jadeja lightly as a bowler. So then that becomes your best bowling lineup with wicket taker. But what that does is weakens your batting. So go with this is also not a bad idea. If you genuinely want your bowlers to do the job, then ideally your 5 best bowlers would be this. Then you say, okay, forget conditions, forget what my batting lineup looks like, where it ends, balance, forget about it. Say, okay, my 5 best bowlers are these. These are the 5 best options for me to pick wickets. And so go with them.
But I think that conundrum is there for India.
We don't know.
Balance.
Yeah, because with Pakistan, the advantage we tend to miss out is that both their spinners are actually all-rounders. So they don't have to worry about playing a genuine wicket taker who can't bat. Both of their spinners are all-rounders, and in Shaheen, you have someone who can whack a few lower down the order. Actually, their batting extends already. They have 5 or 6 pure batsmen.
But now you don't, right?
Now you don't.
So the only way is then for India, you make a compromise on that number 8 by bringing a Shardul / Akshar, whatever you decide, by which then you take one of your wicket-taking bowler out, whether then that is a Siraj or a Shami. That is something you should have to do. That's the only way you fit it. I actually don't mind that. I said it earlier. I'm of the opinion 7 it is. Go with 7.
If that is your strength, back that confidence.
Then, and more importantly, why that might work if you're India is because most of your batters, what is your biggest criticism of them in T20 is they play conservatively. If you have only 7 batters, let them play conservatively. You have 50 overs anyway.
Yeah, that's what you'll have to do. You do give it your best. By the way, I was just looking, you keep talking about the 2011 World Cup India as well. India played with 4 bowlers only. And so they played 2 fast bowlers like Zahir and Nehra, for example, 2 fast bowlers. They had their 2 spinners.
Harbhajan /
Piyush Chawla
/ Ashwin, whoever was playing.
2 spinners. Those are your 4. Those are your bowlers done. The rest 5th bowler's job was Virender Sehwag, Yuvraj Singh, and some
Suresh
Raina, Yusuf Pathan, whoever were bowling.
That is what you did.
What clicked for India was UV's bowling. That gave them that X factor. So
there you just kind of weakened, which is what we are saying then. That was a kind of approach, which is the other approach that I'm saying. Number 8 get either Shardul or Akshar. That was the approach that India took in 2011. They didn't really look at having their 5 best bowlers, wicket taking bowlers, because if that was the case, I think they would have to fit in a Sreesanth in that.
100%.
So then you'd have a Zahir, Sreesanth and a Nehra bowling together, and then your 2 spinners. By which then you'd have to remove one of your all-rounder kind of a spinner out. So they took the approach. This was India's approach at that time in 2011. Listen, we need a strong batting lineup, a longish batting lineup. It's okay, we'll go with 4 bowlers and the 5th we'll do. That approach India can still do, where you have 7 Jadeja, then 8 is either Akshar / Shardul. They have to do the job, and then you take your 2 fast bowlers and your one spinner in Kuldeep. That's the only way. Then you can play in a similar way as India used to do earlier.
So why we is like saying Sky, Virat, KL et al. Always look good against Jofra and wooden home pitches. I'm worried how they would do against the spinners. Actually, our pace has not been a problem.
It never has been. For years, spinners has been a problem.
Surya's had a problem with his left arm spin
and leg.
But that's what I said. See that why? Because you're looking at an English fast bowling lineup, which I thought was just relying on pure pace. Pace will not be a problem. Which is why Haris Rao is not going to get you those kind of wickets. He'll be your first chain. He can get you a wicket where he'll deceive you with a slow one, back of the hand, whatever. That's not it. But the problem is when you get a bowler moves both ways, both Naseem and
Shaheen.
Exactly.
That can be your problem.
Yeah, but then for that matter, England also then our problem, because if a Wood Jofra might not be a problem, but the other 2 bowlers are Chris Woakes and Sam Curran.
I'm saying Woakes maybe and Curran, but I'm saying imagine Curran, right? Little bit less on pace, you'd say that you play with the IPL. These 2 Naseem, Shaheen,
they're 140 plus getting the ball to swing. Yeah, that's tough.
It's a different level.
Much tougher.
That's why I'm saying it's a better, more potent fast bowling lineup that Pakistan have, then England and Australia.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, I think India will struggle against England as well because again, I know that
But I have a feeling they'll do much better there.
And also, I think the pitch will neutralize it. Why? They're playing at Ekana. We don't know how.
we don't know how that pitch is going to play.
Yeah, but in the case of Naseem and Shine, more than their pace, late swing.
Late swing, yeah.
Exactly.
That one that tails away. in the end,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Exactly.
So,
Can we take a few comments, please? Okay.
Akash Bharat was saying, I really want to see Pak bowlers of England batting in India. Roy Butler, Bairstow. Well, you want to see it on November 11th at the Eden Gardens.
By the way, Roy Butler, Bairstow, I think only 2 of those are playing.
Yeah. I think it will be a Butler Bairstow.
Could very well be Roy also because you have Josh to give wickets anyway. Let's see.
But yeah, that's the thing. He's not played much. That's the problem, Roy. That's
Yeah, he's been playing MLC.
that's the problem.
Ankar Biswa is saying Afghanistan batting was mediocre. Good, our batters will prepare better now. Ankar, we discussed that. You have a valid point. That's what we discussed. That it's not a true reflection of where the Pakistan bowling stands right now.
Yeah.
The Afghanistan batting is very thin on experience
Yeah.
that way, I'd have to say. But having said that, you cannot ignore the fact that this is a genuinely good, no matter what the batting lineup, 59 all out in a one-day game.
Losing by 2 runs to Imamullah
Yeah.
alone. And I think even most number of boundaries, they had only 5 in the entire innings. How much did Imam hit?
Let's check the scorecard.
61
No,
how
how
many
many
boundaries? See, 3-1-1, only 5 boundaries. And how much did Imam hit?
Imam would have got
2. Okay, so at least they bettered him. They bettered Imam on boundary count.
You don't watch Imam for boundaries.
Yeah.
You don't.
By the way, don't worry, Imam. I just saw a video. I was talking about that Babar, another interview Babar I saw, where he was asked if you had to choose between a lovely lady or Imam or girlfriend or Imam or something like that, something like that. Who you going to pick? He said, Imam, friendly hota hai. So,
But nephew doesn't.
like that. The world keeps saying that there's extra favors being given to Imam because he's close to Baba. He couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Even in that answer, he could have been diplomatic and said, no. He said, yeah, Imam. Friend.
So far, nephew is not batting the way his uncle is. I mean, his
That's a very unfair comparison. Inzi was God.
Okay. I am telling you about Inzamamul Haq, and I privileged enough to have covered his.
Yeah.
He was arguably the best middle order batter of
Ever.
his generation.
Yeah.
I'm saying a Sachin Tendulkar and a Ricky Ponting and a Brian Lara in that generation kind of did disservice to Imam's legacy. I mean, not their fault, but I'm saying had these guys not been around, he would have been the best batter of his generation.
I mean, he's already the
in
great.
fact, in certain things he did
Better.
He was very destructive. That was the thing.
He's the
batted in
greatest.
tougher conditions,
Huh?
tougher time.
He's the greatest match winner Pakistan ever had.
Exactly
I'll
that.
give you an example. There was, who was it? You could check that interview out. I think it was Yunus Khan or somebody who said, and if you remember, once Inzamam retired and this kind of dip in form in terms of, and they said, and without realizing, they said, you didn't realize the value of an Inzamam because he would go about his job so quietly without any fuss. You didn't realize, but as soon as he's gone, he was the biggest match winner. I'll give you a comparison in the Indian context, and it happened similarly in the Indian context because sometimes you do not look at the value of that player because there are other big players. Was Anil Kumble. When Anil Kumble went, you realize there are certain things that he did which nobody could do, and you suddenly were missing that, especially in Test match cricket. Him clearing the tail up, he would come. So sometimes underrated because of those achievements. Similarly, in Pakistan, Inzamam or in world cricket, he did the tougher job, the dirty job without any fuss, so calmly that you didn't realize the value that he brought to that team.
I think this record is, I think whenever Inzamam scored a test century, Pakistan never lost.
Underrated match.
And what a player of spin.
When he danced down a track and hit you, forget about it.
Muralidharan, before Lara made him mortal in 2001, it was Inzamam. He was never troubled. I think Kumble troubled him.
Yeah.
I think Kumble troubled him.
Kumble probably troubled him because he didn't turn the ball as much.
Yeah. But great. I mean, he was the GOAT without getting any appreciation. in Zaman.
Okay, Karthik from the US of A says if Indian batters can just think aggressively and go blazing against Pakistan in Asia Cup, we'll put them in a better place mentally for World Cup. Best chance to try it out. Good point, Karthik.
But not happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be
We'll
risky.
see. I think initially they will take their time. You want to get the result under your back. Win. Play safe cricket, win.
Yeah.
Percentage cricket, win. Because those 1 or 2 wins, then you go in with that mentality going forward.
Satish B is like saying Roy, Joss, Bairstow can play spin well. We have seen.
Butler sometimes struggles a little bit, but Jason Roy, my God, that man, a leg spinner can be bowled into him, he'll be hitting reverse sweep.
I'll tell you, I don't. It was the Roy Bairstow duo that ended culture.
Exactly, in England.
They ended culture. Because
they're battering them all over the place. All over the place.
Now Kul is back.
Yeah.
Kul is back and Chaz
waiting for the sun to rise.
True.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your company. It's a good game. We'll be tracking this series because remember, it is going to be these teams that India will be playing in the Asia Cup, and then you'll be facing them in the World Cup. So very crucial matches coming up. 3-match series between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And that reminds me, Noor's interview is up on Sports Today, where he talks about that everyone is saying India Pakistan final, we also want to do things, and talking about Afghanistan bowling, and Noor sitting on the bench.
Exactly.
I would play him. He is dangerous in the end.
But
dangerous. It was as tough, in fact tougher sometimes than Rashid also do.
Yeah, because with him, again, with Rashid, if you play with this straight mind, that his wicket taking ball is a googly. With Noor, because of the rarity of being a Chinaman, it's very hard to pick.
And bowling like Rashid left.
Exactly. I know first time like, when did Rashid start bowling?
Exactly like
same
that.
I'm saying when did I thought Rashid got bored of getting everyone out with legs right arm, he'll switch to left arm also. Same action.
No, I mean, for example, why can't they play 4 spinners if that's the strength? Because see, Mujib can be a power play bowler. He bowls in the power play.
He mostly bowls in the power play only. And with Nabi, he's not just a spinner, he's a handy bat also.
Yeah, but again, if you can play, I think remove Ikram Malik Hill and get a Noor in.
So, quite possible.
Tomorrow we'll see you ahead of the 30-20I at 6:55 p.m. as always, building up to that 30-20I. It's been an exciting series because there's so many young players that I'm really looking forward to seeing how they perform.
Yeah.
The Rinku fan club, Yashashvi, is good. Dubey
One more chance for Tilak.
Tilak now, or Spotlight's even bigger now that he's named in the
and also he never goes away. He's always in the spotlight. Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
He's going as a backup.
Yep. Yes.
So see you guys tomorrow. For the moment, subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already. Some various different interesting content already up for today.
Yep.
Whether it's cricket, chess, and even football. We put something out on Messi.
That was yesterday night.
Yeah.
We have some other stuff coming as well.
Yep.
So
Bye bye.